Good, because we did. Oh, we're live. Hi, I am Jacob from Weekend Movie Bros, and Zachary can never say the intro because it's my job. And now, who are you?
I'm Raymond from Weekend Movie Bros.
Which is also Zachary. I don't want you to be confused, people. And this is our podcast. Now, last week we had our 1 year anniversary. Did we do a podcast this week?
No, we replaced it with the commentary, remember?
We did do the commentary last week. I don't. Quarantine, guys. Quarantine.
Yeah,
how are you guys doing during your quarantine and things? Let us know in the comments, as we would love to know. We reacted to the entirety of Avengers Endgame. It's up on our YouTube channel in case you want to go watch that. It's 3 hours long, so can't tell me
we had so much time. That was my favorite little thing we did, and I like the fact that it's going to spark us to do more in the near future.
We're trying to figure out what movie to do next, when to do it, and type of thing.
I think it's kind of I know you want to do one certain film next, but I feel like we should wait till it's 1 year anniversary in October to do it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
So what movie were you thinking
for next?
We can talk about it after.
Yeah.
It's not necessary for the podcast. So we have several different stories to go over. Some of them have much more concrete information. Others are just more of like shit could happen. So yeah, I'm gonna start from the top. I'm just gonna work our way down. They vary in size, so bear with us, I guess. But there is a lot to talk about here. So either way, we're gonna start with Boba Fett coming back to Star Wars and anything to do with the Mandalorian, such as Ahsoka, what we feel about after Clone Wars ended, all that fun, jazzy stuff is happening.
Basically, the Star Wars segment.
Star Wars, exactly. And because I'm not passionate about Star Wars, and because I only kind of remember who Boba Fett is, sorry for every Star Wars fan out there that I just literally attacked, I'm gonna let my brother take over this conversation, and I will jump in when I am needed. So go ahead, Zach.
So the first thing I want to talk about is that we have the first two directors, possibly. Well, we know one's correct. Robert Rodriguez will be directing one of the episodes for season 2 of Mandalorian. He posted a picture with him and Baby Yoda, which, by the way, this is our first time seeing the season 2 version of Baby Yoda. He has 3 extra wrinkles on his head, which means he's a slightly bit older. We don't know how much older, obviously. But let's get to the real elephant in the room, which is the fact that Boba Fett is officially confirmed for this show. Now, there is a giant speculation theory going around that in episode 1, when Mando first goes to see the den mother of the Mandalorians on the planet, if you look in the corner of the backside when he first comes in, about maybe 0.5 seconds after he walks in, you can actually see the Boba Fett helmet, his helmet. Now, that would have to mean that the planet that Mando was on was Tatooine, and they just weren't saying what it was because Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit on Tatooine when going to fight Jabba. So this is where it gets interesting because that would mean that they are canonizing that Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit. That's been a big thing ever since it happened. There are books in canon of him surviving. How do we feel about it? Well, first off, I think it's really cool that they got the guy who played Jango from Attack of the Clones to play Boba because, as we all know for canon now, Boba and Jango are clones of each other. So this is also the first time that we get to see a clone again from the clone era in the Empire, besides Rex, which I think is really, really cool. And the fact that they got him back to do it, I think is awesome. And plus, this will be his first time wearing the suit because he didn't play Boba back in the Empire Strike Back days. It was someone else. And so the fact that he's playing him is awesome. Now, how do I feel about it, though, as a Star Wars fan? I'm not happy at all. For one reason only. The entirety of Mandalorian Season 1 did not rely on big characters for its show. On any. I don't count Baby Yoda as a big character because that's a new character for that. That's not a specific character from canon. not only do we have Boba Fett now, we have Ahsoka coming in, possibly Rex, and Sabine from Rebels. Now, I should be excited because these are all animated characters getting their moment in live action. But the reason I love Mandalorian so much is because it exists within the Star Wars universe, but doesn't rely on these characters to do it. And the fact they're using the biggest Mandalorian in this show is just like, we don't need them. We really, really, really don't. People weren't asking for the Boba Fett movie when it was being announced. Same thing with the show. And so I really hope they have a good reason of bringing him back. Now, the opposite of that, I'm so freaking excited that Rex, Sabine, and Ahsoka are coming into Mandalorian because we get to see where they are after Return of the Jedi. If you're a Rebels fan, you know that Ahsoka and Sabine have been on a quest to find somebody or some people. So maybe we'll find out how that's going. Captain Rex was on the Battle of Endor, so we can see how he's doing after the war happened. There's a lot of good things with that. I haven't really talked publicly either about the Ahsoka casting. I love it. I think she'll do great as Ahsoka. She fits the older, more mental in-state version of Ahsoka. Whereas I know that people want Ashley Eckstein to play her again from the show. She's too young to play an older Ahsoka. She fits better with the voice for a more younger, to like about my age. Whereas with Mandalorian Ahsoka, she'll be about in her 30s to 40s. So I feel like he would fit it better. Captain Rex, if we're going to bring him back for Boba, let him play Captain Rex in Mandalorian too. Like, let him play both roles. Because he's a clone, and I think that'd be really cool. Sabine? Oh, boy. I have so many ideas for Sabine. But another time when we get closer to finding out more about that. So, yeah, a lot of mixed feelings when it comes to this. Robert Rodriguez is an interesting choice. I wonder how he's going to direct his episode. There's one more I forgot, but he wasn't confirmed or anything. We know Robert's confirmed. Would I want anyone to come back? Deborah Chow. Give her another episode or two for Mandalorian Season 2. Give Bryce Dallas Howard another shot. Her episode was good, but I feel like she can do more. And as always, as a hardcore Clone Wars fan, let Dave Filoni have another shot at live-action directing. It's been a while since Season 1. I guarantee you he's learned a lot since that time. He knows his episodes have been most heavily criticized from the first season because he was the pilot. He was also that god-awful heist episode with Bill Burr, which I absolutely hated. But again, it's been a while since they shot the first season. I guarantee you he's learned a lot from Favreau. So give him another shot. But overall, Mandalorian, can't wait for it to come out. We're almost there. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Jacob?
Well, I figured what we could do, so everybody could see it. Little new Baby Yoda. I think it's really interesting they chose Robert Rodriguez. I'm really happy Robert Rodriguez is getting more work and things. I still enjoy him as a director. I just don't think he chooses the best projects 90% of the time. But I'm curious to see it. I'm also really, really excited to see Baby Yoda in general.
Just see his whole face. Does Yoda look old? Does our little baby look older to you?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if we've ever, because the TV show is heavily reliant on VFX and other, parts and things. I don't think we've ever seen such a clean picture of Baby Yoda without being under processing and things.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure if this is what Baby Yoda normally looks like. I do see the gray hairs and stuff. He is old. I mean, we just don't think he's old because we call him Baby Yoda. But in reality, he's like 60 years old. But they last forever. Like, they live for so long that I think it plays a factor.
So it means like 51.
Yeah, so. But I just want to very quickly show off that. I'm excited to see Ahsoka. I have mixed opinions on Ahsoka, I should say. Personally, I don't really tend to enjoy where they take her character from in the last few seasons, especially of Clone Wars. I didn't really enjoy. I enjoyed the episode she was a part of. Didn't watch Rebels, but I do know things that happen in Rebels that I'm also not entirely sure how much I enjoy character-wise, that they have taken down the path-wise. I'm curious to see what happens with it and how reflects, in live action and things. I do think this is really interesting. I do like the idea of having somebody behind like Dave Malone who create all these amazing characters that us Star Wars fans somewhat love more than the actual initial characters that were given to us by Lucas.
Yeah.
That seeing them to life because we're letting somebody who works in this department that's never been able to work in the other department finally letting him to play with his toys. I really like the idea of that. Boba Fett in general, I've never been a huge fan of, but that's also because I've never really enjoyed the original where he's most significant in.
Yeah.
And so I've never had a connection. I don't really know if it's necessary, but I also understand from like a business standpoint.
Yes, I completely agree on that.
Baby Yoda was the biggest thing that came out of The Mandalorian. The last episode with the with the Darksaber and stuff had a lot of moments where it was like, oh, we have to report on this. But mostly is everybody like, oh, what's the newest means for Baby Yoda? And so I can understand wanting to take a step away from that and try to get people more excited by characters and just things like that in like a let's talk about it sense. So it's a mixed bag.
So, but here's my biggest thing when it comes to him is that you don't say you're bringing back Boba Fett as a big news headline anywhere unless he's going to be in the entire season. Do you think he's going to be in the entire season or 1 to 2 episodes at most?
Oh, 1 to 2 episodes at most. Probably a cameo. Probably having to go on a singular mission, but they can't do it by themselves. So they need a second person coming in.
Yeah. So do you feel like they're hyping him up too much just for him to be in 1 episode and then done?
No, I think because how big of the character is and stuff, I don't think there is any hype whatsoever. I think it's just genuinely people are excited about it because it's Boba Fett. Like you have said before, they have teased a TV show, just Boba Fett. They have teased a movie, just Boba Fett. They have teased several different things for this specific character, and finally seeing something that comes to realization. Also, knowing that the whole season's already filmed means he is definitely in it. They're just waiting to make the announcement, which I also enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're having false hope of where it's like, oh, this could happen, and then people don't like it, so they didn't do it. But we definitely know they did do it. So
the other big character I want to talk about right now is back on Ahsoka. Is she going to be at the end of the season, you think?
See, Ahsoka, on the other hand, I think on the exact opposite, I think she would have several more episodes. I think there's a good chance that I don't know if she'll be in the whole series, like the whole 10-episode season, or 8. What is it?
It's 8.
It's 8.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe she'll show up like at the end. Maybe she'll be this season's like Baby Yoda, where she's at the very end of the first episode, and then we slowly see her arc and stuff. But if they are following the direction of the first season of Mandalorian, it was just like. I personally think this is horrible, but I know a lot of people enjoy it. It works really well for animation, slightly. I felt like the final season of Star Wars was misjointed because of the way they shoot their TV shows and stuff in arcs, in general arcs, and that's how I personally thought the first season of Mandalorian was. It was in arcs. Sure, they have an overlining story, but it was mostly let's go here, let's do this will help us kind of thing, and so it could be an arc where she's in it for 4 episodes, and then we watch her disappear, and she gets to move on and things. I just hope this means that she can pop up in other things.
So how would you feel if they did it that way, where Ahsoka was the first 4 and Boba was the second 4? Like
that'd be fine. I think personally, because even though Sabine and Rex, I think are such great characters, so I don't know so much about Sabine because I didn't watch Rebels, but I do know somewhat information and stuff. But I think Rex could be really cool. Could be like that middle episode in between because they have ties to both Ahsoka, then also with the fact of Boba Fett, and different elements and things. I think he could be a part of both and be that overlying arc of cool. And then Sabine, I would say, probably as much more as Ahsoka than anything in the world.
Well, the reason I bring up the Sabine part of it is because obviously you didn't watch Rebels.
Did not.
Not kind of spoiler for Rebels. Sabine's family is very attached to the Darksaber. The last person to hold that saber besides Bo-Katan, was her mother. And the last
which has already been very much talked about on the internet.
Yeah. The last person we see in Rebels holding that saber is Sabine's mom. So it would mean that at that point, then Moff Gideon went there, killed her mom, and got the saber, which would now which would be awesome if they did this. Is that in season 3 of Mandalorian? I don't think Sabine's gonna have a big role in the show. If that in season 3, it was a revenge tale for the Mandalorian and Sabine to go find Moff, because Moff had something to do with both Mando and Sabine, and it'd be a revenge story for season 3. I think that'd be really cool. So
yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm also, because they already set up so many different interesting things with the final episode, the Darksaber, which could tie back into all of this, but also with Baby Yoda in general, knowing that there's a whole colony of him, and the fact that that's coming. I'm curious to see how all that stuff gets intermixed with all this.
I think that's the thing from the first season that will get touched on, but not as much, because they're bringing in Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and Rex. I think they're going to save Baby Yoda for his own like mini arc in season 3. I think this is going to be a setup for more characters, and then we're going to get the Baby Yoda story.
I would personally, being honest with you, I would much prefer a full fleshed out second season, and not the second season syndrome that most things go under, of where it's like, oh, we can do whatever we want here. We don't have to be so much heavy on the story. We can take our time, because we do have that other season. We know what's coming. Like, then we can be a little more forceful. I would rather the forcefulness to be throughout the whole thing and actually have progress. The biggest problem that I think a lot of people have with Mandalorian season 1 is that I felt like it didn't go anywhere. Every episode just seemed like it dragged. Not drag necessarily like pacing, but just like it stayed in the same place. That even though we made such great progress, we dropped back like 7 steps. And I don't want to continue to see that going forward. I want actual progress. It does make me nervous with all these new characters and stuff coming in. If it's going to be somewhat of the similar, which is fine for like, I don't want to say animated TV show, but also animated TV show, you know? I don't know. It's interesting. I'm curious. We'll have to wait and see.
I think what's harder with this show specifically is because of the fact that Filoni's on it, and that he's been such in that mentality of doing mini arcs and granted, within those arcs, he does such great character development, and we got really good character development throughout Mandalorian. But it's like you said, the pacing of those arcs took forever to get through. Those first 3 episodes were about finding Baby Yoda, protecting Baby Yoda, and getting off the planet. Episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7, 4, 5, and 6 were all ancillary tales with Baby Yoda Mandalorian. It wasn't until when we got to 7, that's when we got back into the thick of things again.
And so that's what I mean. And I don't think 8 episodes should have fillers.
No.
Even if those fillers mean something later on, and we do enjoy that. We enjoyed the callback. Don't get us wrong. But also, I don't think you need a whole episode to have a callback.
But I think this is where people's main criticism of that show will finally come into play. Let them be hour long. Do not let them be half an hour. Give them the full hour runtime, because then you can throw in a little filler story somewhere in the middle of that hour, but still tie it in with the next episode.
Yes.
Let it be.
It's a great. A 30-minute TV show can't have a B storyline.
No, it cannot.
An hour episode totally can have a B storyline.
Yeah.
And you can have B storylines thrown throughout, but if you're having arcing episodes like the first Mandalorian, it does not work, because you've broken up that one episode into 4 episodes. And so we want a full arc going throughout all 4. And if we have a side story in there, it throws off everything. Clone Wars season 7.
So like, say like an hour-long Mandalorian episode could have Rex and Ahsoka working on finding a way to find Boba Fett, maybe, where we can have the Mandalorian Baby Yoda arc going on too, and we see them intertwine with each other and cross over, and that leads into the next episode. Do it like that. I want them to give their people enough time to work. I know they're under tight schedule and everything, but hour-long content, especially like this, makes more sense than half an hour. It really, really does. And I'm scared to death now that the MCU shows are going to follow that path, and I don't want them to.
And I also don't. I think even though as much as I would love an hour-long version of WandaVision, I think WandaVision could do really well with the 30-minute timestamp. I'm just saying.
What about Falcon Winter Soldier?
Depends on the subject matter. Depends on what's happening, and things like that will determine how I feel. Just because we have an idea of kind of what the feeling they're going for WandaVision, sitcom-y, those type of things. Like it runs up. And if you're pitching The Mandalorian as like your Saturday morning cartoon, 30 minutes sounds perfect.
Yes, but it's not a Saturday morning cartoon though.
They're trying to do more with it, and so it takes away the Saturday morning cartoon element and things. And also, the best episode is the final episode, and it's 46 minutes long. I mean, you can't fault that. You can't just be like, hey, this was so much longer, and it was the best one.
Deborah Chow's episode, both of Deborah Chow's episodes were the longest of the season. Episode 3 and episode 3, 7, and 8. So Deborah Chow's episodes and Taika's episode were the longest ones, and everybody agrees those are the 3 best episodes of the show. So again, like you just said, go with the hour. Not it has to be an hour long, just like 40 to 50.
Oh yeah, 40 to 50 minutes. You can get a lot of story done. You can even you can even go down like a second arc or whatever. There's enough time to play.
Right.
Play if you want to play. If you don't want to play, which is also perfectly fine, you can have a very singular, this is what's going to happen story arc throughout the whole thing, or through these like mini episodes or whatever. I just don't personally enjoy that type of storytelling. And it's fine if you want to do it, but like,
yeah. And if you realize in Taika's episode, he has that storyline at the beginning with the scout troopers. They have that mini conversation inside of the hut while they're trying to get stuff ready outside. So he's doing A-B conversations within his episode, but since it's long enough, he's got time to make that work. It also worries me that they're giving smaller run times to newer directors and longer run times to more old-fashioned directors. Let everybody have the same amount of time to shine, because I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard's episode short.
Also, I feel like it also could just be the fact that it all depends on the script and things like that. I mean, not every episode. I saw the whole first season of Mandalorian. Not every episode needed to be 40 minutes long.
No,
there just wasn't enough there, and that's not on anybody's fault except the writing team for not fleshing out good enough to require a 40-minute episode. Even though I think we all could agree we would all watch 46-minute episodes, especially if they're weekly. Don't get me a 30-minute weekly episode. I'm sorry. I'm over it. Half-hour shit. That should be bingeable. It's half hour. Those are meant to be binged.
I think we're ready to move on. I think we talked enough Star Wars.
I agree. Let's go on to Borderlands. So Borderlands got a casting announcement. So it was first announced as a rumor. But if you guys don't understand how Hollywood works or sources and things in general, when somebody says, oh, they're going over a contract, like they did say in the report and things, that basically means the person is the person who's going to be in the movie. Kate Blanchett is the perfect choice for Lilith in Borderlands. It's so good. Also, I have to commend Eli Roth for hiring a 50-year-old woman to play such a badass character, where he could have went with someone younger, he could have went with somebody a little newer. He got fucking Kate Blanchett, and like, I mean, we could damn.
So this is where I ask my question about this movie now. Does it take place after 3? Like, is this an older Lilith, or
I don't necessarily think so. I think she can still pull off, like, if they want to make her younger.
I'm just curious, story wise, obviously you get Kate Blanchett because it's fucking Kate Blanchett. But if they're like, I want to know, like, story-wise, why he decided she would be the best one to go with.
Well, also, and we have talked about this for so many different podcasts we have brought it up, and they know each other. They work together on House with the Clocks in it, and it's not so much in Hollywood. It's all about who you know. It's all about where your connections lies, and that's an excellent connection to have. I mean, good for Eli Roth.
But that also means that Kate had a great time making that movie. That she's
because that's exactly true as well. Is that it's a two-way street here. Like, Lilith, Borderlands could be a really shitty movie. Not saying it's going to be. I tend to enjoy Eli Roth films, and he's very, very much like a studio person, which is also good for the movie and things. But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. It's also a very good role and things. This is what Lilith looks like. For anybody has any ideas.
So awesome.
Some are more sexualized than others, but that's fine.
So, but
throughout the years.
Let me ask you though,
Mm-hmm.
Great casting. Great casting. Sure.
Totally.
Do you remember how excited we got when we heard that Michael Fassbender was going to be in an Assassin's Creed movie, and look how that turned out? I'm just saying, you can't really get.
I mean, I never truly got excited for Michael Fassbender in an Assassin's Creed movie.
You know what I'm saying, though, they can get these high-level profile people to be in these video game films, and then ultimately it hit the bed. I really think people are sleeping on Mortal Kombat because that cast is completely we don't know anybody in that cast. The biggest name on that movie is James Wan. And I really think that Borderlands, no offense to Eli Roth, is not going to be the video game film to tip the iceberg. I really don't. Because unless what studio is putting this out? Do we know?
I'm Googling it.
Thank you.
We're on the same page.
Because I'll know how far they want to go with this, depending on the production company that's putting it out. Because if it's like Lionsgate, then I'm more confident because we've seen what they do. Is it Lionsgate? Yep. If they treat Borderlands like they treat John Wick, then Borderlands will be fucking great. But if they go,
I do feel bad for Borderlands.
Huh?
I do feel bad for Borderlands for having Lionsgate.
Why?
They're a bitch to do any type of advertisement team with.
Oh yeah, John Wick barely got any advertisements at all.
And you can't really react to them. You can't really focus on them because they block everything, and it's just horrible.
So the two biggest roles in this movie, if we're going off of either 2 or 3, is Lilith and Handsome Jack. They need someone equal to or on par with Kate to play Handsome Jack. Because no offense to a new guy at all, you can't have a new guy play that villain against her. They need to be on equal ground. Now, I'm saying that, and I'm sure no one would mind a chubbier version of Handsome Jack. His name's in the title. Get Jack Black back. I think he'd be a great
Jack. No.
Why?
I think it would take out all the seriousness and things. I do not want. I think Jack Black could have a role. I don't want him as Handsome Jack. No, we don't agree. We're not on the same page.
That's fine. But I know a person who's really excited about this movie, and that would be our father, because he loves the series to death. And as long as he's happy with it, then it's a success.
He's happy with the director. The director, once again, can make a PG film if he's asked to. He also can make an extremely hard-rated film. And Lionsgate is not against putting out an R-rated film.
No.
Hellboy is an example of that.
Granted,
it's a shit film. But still, they're not against it. John Wick, extremely popular franchise for them, R-rated. So I hear there's a lot of.
Here's the scary thing, though. Borderlands is an M-rated game. We know that. Do you think they would push the envelope and try to make it PG-13 to have more open audience?
Maybe, possibly. I'm not gonna say that's a no.
But would that hurt the movie?
No, I don't think so. I'm only saying that because I don't think Borderlands is as popular. Like, I mean, it's popular, but I don't think it's like super duper popular. But it's going to make a huge difference if we're affecting the core fan base.
I think this will also really depend on when it comes out, because Borderlands is a thing right now because of 3.
But also, I would really like to see some like realistic effects and things that Eli Roth is known for.
Yeah.
And I don't think we can do that without an R rating. So I don't know. I'm mixed on it. I'll let you know. Ask me in a few weeks.
Okay. But overall,
we'll back up. All right.
Good casting choice. It's a really good casting choice.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. These next 2 stories are simply speculative. These are things that are being greenlit and already working on and things, but I was curious to see who you would want to play these characters because we both enjoy these movies.
Yes.
So the first one is Tangled. Tangled got announced a few weeks ago that they're going to be moving into production with a live action. We are not getting a sequel to Tangled. We do have Tangled the series, which is currently on its 4th season, doing very, very well for the Disney Channel. or is it Disney XD? I can't remember what's on. It's on one of the Disneys.
I think it's Disney Junior.
I don't think it's on Junior because I only say that because you can't watch it on little kids things on.
It might be Disney Channel.
Tangled, but here's the thing, and I think this is a very. I'm gonna go first with this story. That's okay. I know I went first with the last story, but I think okay. You can go first with the next one because I don't really care about the next one, but I know you really care about the next one, so like that's fine. It's on Disney. It's on like the normal Disney Channel. It's probably in the morning. Either way, not important. We have two amazing people here, like two great actors that could still play these roles, and I don't mean that in like a they can't, they're too old. No, I mean literally they could still play these roles and be amazing in them. Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi are one still attached to the movie, they still do voice work for the TV show. It's a no-brainer. Do I think Disney's going to do that? No. But I do believe sorry, it's just the truth. I do, however, believe that Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi should play the parents of Rapunzel.
Now you're talking.
Not give them the leads, even though as much as I would want that, seriously though, like I would want that. But it's fine. I can digress because I got some excellent casting for you. Like, I've been thinking about this and I got some amazing leads for you. Are you ready? You're not. You're not ready. All right, here we go. Florence Pugh as Rapunzel. Amazing, right? Skylar Austin. I think he's a little too small, but I still totally support this. Skylar Austin, which you might not know who that is. I might have to pull him up for you a picture. He plays the boyfriend in Pitch Perfect, the first one.
He's in Zoe's Infinite Playlist.
He is in Zoe's Infinite
Playlist. Yes, yes.
I'm gonna pull him up anyways, just because I'm sure there's other people who don't watch these things who doesn't know who.
He's been in all 3 Pitch Perfect movies. He's great.
He's married to Anna Camp.
I can so see it too. See it.
Come on, the smaller. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yeah.
He's a little small.
Though, I really like that pick.
So Florence Pugh, just so we have a reference for a picture. If you don't know who Florence Pugh is, mother, stop it. Go educate yourself and get a better life. Sorry, not sorry. So, this is what she looks like. Come on.
Florence has more of a shot of the two.
Totally. I agree.
Black Widow. She's already in with Disney. And I agree. Black Widow. I think she would be, that's perfect.
Like, I mean, she's the embodiment, but also I think there's a slight chance that she would say no because of the fact that she is trying to be a little more prestigious, or she could want to take on a more prestigious role. She's already in blockbusters with Disney. She already has a Disney role. It's possible. I'm not going to fault her, but it is possible. So I do have a backup. I don't like my backup as much as I enjoyed my initial choice because it's fucking Florence Pugh. And my whole heart would explode with happiness. Over the moon. It's Emma Roberts is my choice for Rapunzel. Now, on initial reaction, you're like, it's not that great. Which I agree. I personally think she could do something really interesting with it. It's not my favorite choice, but I think with some work, some ideas and stuff, I think it could possibly. She currently booked to the 9 right now, so I don't really think it's going to happen either. But who would you choose? It's very hard because they're such great roles.
So I absolutely love your
Meryl Streep for Mother Gothel. Just going to put that out there.
Who?
Meryl Streep for Mother Gothel.
Hearing her sing Mother Knows Best, give me a break.
Meryl Streep and Florence Pugh already have a connection in Little Women. Attack it from that angle. They played together. Like, it works. It literally just makes it sense
for this movie.
I tell you, that's great.
It's now the other one I had in mind for what Flynn. The other one I had in mind for Flynn. I don't know if you're gonna like it. I think he would work really well. The guy who played Han in Solo.
Arn Ehrenreich.
Yeah. Because he's got the shoulder down. You can't play Han without Smolder.
I'm just gonna type in Soul, guys. That's what we're going with now because I can't look up his name. It's so hard. All right, I got a horrible picture, but like we understand.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I think he could play a really good.
I think I'm not disagreeing. Also, it'd be like a nice reward for saying, "Hey, we gave you this really shitty thing. Here's something to reward you for that."
Yeah, because if they ever announced a solo Disney Plus show, I'd be happy.
But also, I do have a feeling, just a slight feeling, that they also would not give him another blockbuster because this did do so bad.
That's not his fault.
No, but you can blame it on the star power. You can.
But I think he'd be a really good Flynn. Rapunzel, I think you nailed.
Florence Pugh, come on, it's Florence Pugh.
Now, by the way, you have to understand that these live action remakes love to give their princesses a sidekick. Now, if Florence Pugh got cast, I think Emma Roberts could be a good sidekick to Florence Pugh.
Oh, that's what it was. Not as Rapunzel, but Mother Gothel's daughter. Oh, what is Cassandra? That is a spoiler for anybody who wants to watch Tangled Ever After. It is a spoiler for the TV show. You don't learn it until like the midway through season 2. I don't think it is what it is. But it is Mother Gothel's daughter is the person running around there. I can bring up Cassandra for you in case you're curious what she looks like. This is somebody that comes up very later on and things. It's a very interesting, kind of convoluted, not going to lie, premise. But putting her in there with Rapunzel instead in the castle, instead of having her become a best friend, would be great. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to show you guys the picture. This is what she looks like. I think this would be a great role for Emma Roberts. That's what it was.
Now looking at the picture, you know I could see in that role too.
Who? I also get an Alison Brie vibe.
I was actually going to say Zooey Deschanel.
No, I can see it.
But I can see Brie, though. I can see Alison Brie really easily, especially in that far picture down there at the very end of the first row. I can see Alison Brie with that.
Alison Brie, for anybody who's curious who that is. She's married to Dave Franco. Amazing actress. Does a great job. Highly recommend her stuff. Very, very funny.
But no, I didn't realize this was actually announced either.
Yes, it was leaked, I should say, not so much announced, but it has been greenlit. It is moving forward.
Now, by the way, if they let Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi play the parents, we have to let them do a rendition of "At Last I See the Light" as a nursery song to baby Rapunzel before she gets taken away, just to hear them sing it live action once.
I have to say, though, because I think there's going to be a lot of controversy around this, just because Mandy Moore and Zachary Levi look amazing. They're at the best of their careers at this moment. Zachary Levi has Shazam. They're busy people. That is true. They found time to do Tangled, the series, and things like that. You know, they've been game the whole way. Whatever. I think a lot of people are going to be really offended if they don't get the leads. I think a lot of people. I think for that standpoint, I think they'd be happy to be part of it at any point. But this is the first live action to come out where you could actually attainably get the people who voice the characters. And
the other crazy thing about Tangled is that it is the first non-Renaissance movie.
The next one we're going to talk about is a Renaissance movie.
Why do you think they're jumping ahead?
Because Tangled was so popular, and because Tangled the series is doing really. It's a very, very feasible brand. I mean, it's a very smart idea.
Now, the other one, I think you're underlying here. I think the other one could be.
Now, I think a lot of people. Brilliant. I think a lot of people are excited for this. I have never been a huge Hercules fan, but I only have one casting for this one, and it's controversial. But I have to agree with Twitter when Twitter is right. So,
is it for Meg?
It is for Meg.
Go ahead and say it. I want to know if I'm on your line.
Ariana Grande.
Yes. After hearing her thing on disease, yeah. I mean, yeah, because first off, she can pull the hair off really well. I can totally see her in the purple outfit, and then her singing with a bunch of pieces of concrete.
And she has talked about it a lot beforehand. Play Meg and things.
The only thing that would make me nervous about it, I love her to death. Her acting is okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But if you give her enough songs, no one's going to care. And that's just my opinion.
Look into the Meg character. I love the Meg character to death, unless they expand upon her at all. Meg didn't really have a lot to do in the animated movie. She was basically Hades' right-hand woman until she realized she loved Hercules, betrayed them, and then...
So...
Now, Hercules...
Hercules, dude.
First off, if Danny DeVito does not play his little sidekick friend that makes him a hero, you are idiots. You are idiots. Because that is just, that's on the plate. Just give it back to him. Now, Hercules.
That's what yeah.
Now, you actually gave me my Hercules while talking about Tangled. I think Zachary Levi would be an incredible Hercules. I really, really, really do. I think because he's got the voice for it. He's got the muscle build for it. And I could totally see him, if they're going with how the movie was going, I could totally see him and Ariana Grande having that kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't want it to happen because he can only be in one.
But
gotta keep that in mind.
The biggest casting in this movie, the biggest casting is not Hercules, is not Meg, is Hades. Hades needs to be spot on. And Disney, you already got a good one. Just let him have the movie. The guy from Descendants 3.
Yeah, I don't want Cheyenne. I thought about Cheyenne Jackson coming back and portraying it.
After seeing Descendants 3, I can totally, if they don't want to make him full blue and they want to give him that kind of like, if they want to go like more like a realistic rocker aesthetic for Hell, I think he would do perfect and give Hades a song. I think it'd be awesome. After watching this, everybody's been talking about it on Facebook and on Twitter. Cheyenne Jackson would be the perfect Hades to go against Levi's Hercules. I think it'd be awesome. I really, and John Goodman as Zeus. Bingo. I've been thinking about this ever since they announced it. I want this movie so bad. I love.
So because I was curious to see what other people are saying. I don't really have an opinion, so I wanted some help. Collider, which is a very credible source, by the way, if anybody's curious, they have slowly grows up the ranks years and years go by and things yet. But they do have several choices that I think are interesting. Haley Steinfeld as Meg. I also enjoy. I think she would be really, really good as well. Like her. Stanley Tucci as Hades. Also, don't hate. Key and Peele as Pain and Panic.
Yes.
Also, don't hate as well.
Well,
so this is also
already Hyenas and Lion King. I don't know if they wanted to do that again.
Oh, I didn't watch it, so
they were the two idiot hyenas.
Sure?
Yeah. No. Keegan was one of the hyenas. Peele wasn't. Keegan-Michael Key was one of the hyenas.
The beautiful thing of having internet is you can just Google everything.
Well, Haley Steinfeld is big, though.
Right? That's drawing something.
I know she can act. I know she can sing.
Oh, go stream her new EP. It's amazing.
Did you see her performance on Lip Sync Battle as Michael Jackson?
No.
Oh, dude, it was so good.
So, and also, another big one that everybody is casting is the Muses. Because everybody's really excited.
Those are important.
So, I don't believe Beyonce would come back. So, that's out of the race here. But Cynthia Erivo, I think, would be a good one. Yeah. Lizzo, obviously. I mean, if Lizzo doesn't get hired, people are going to riot. Amber Riley from Glee, also, I think, is a great one. I don't know who Brittany Howard is. I'm sorry for everybody who I just offended because I'm sure there's somebody out there. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that's very... It's very inspiring casting here, guys. Bruce Campbell as Zeus. Would never have thought about it, but like, what? How inspiring!
Oh man, Bruce Campbell as Zeus, Zach Levi as Hercules, Haley Steinfeld as Meg, and Stanley Tucci as Hades. Who does not want to go see that movie? I mean, come on. Give him the long white hair. You're good to go.
Wow, what a good choice. Sorry, I just had to show off that picture.
So Jacob, after hearing all these casting ideas, does it make you more excited for this movie?
Yes, I still, as much as I love Haley Steinfeld and stuff, which I do, I
Ariana.
still would prefer Ariana Grande. And it's not so much because I think she's a great actress, because I think she's fine. I've never thought, oh my god, Ariana Grande is a horrible actress, and fuck you all on Twitter. Gosh, Twitter is a mess. But
No,
still,
I don't think she's bad. I just don't think she.
Oh, that's such a good choice as well.
For who? Zeus?
Oh, yes. Also, no, I went back to Tangled. Sorry, guys. I left you. Okay, so these are okay. Back to Tangled. Sorry, it's gonna be a long podcast tonight. Is that okay, Zachary? Do you care? You do care?
No, I don't care.
Okay, I was like, I can start wrapping it up. I mean, we still have several things to go through. Okay, so for Rapunzel, like I said, we talked about Florence Pugh. I totally forgot. Amanda Seyfried has been a fan casted for a long time. I think she's a lot more easier to get, so I think that's a great option. Once again, what?
Do you think she'd be too old to play her?
No, I don't believe so, because Amanda Seyfried still looks like she's 20. So
Amen to that.
Sabrina Carpenter, also another great choice. Already in the Disney name and perfect project to put her on as well.
Ooh, what about the girl from Sabrina?
Oh, Karen Chipika, also a great one. I think they might be because of Sabrina and because I'm not sure, but I still think it's a great. I think it's a great choice. So that's my opinions. Those are some really, really good. Didn't think about them before. Now obsessed. I think all those people. Tom Holland has also been a big one going around for Flynn. That was a big one.
No, this is specifically to you because you're more of a Tangled fan than I love Tangled. Tangled's a fantastic film, but this is more for you. Do you want Flynn and Flynn and Rapunzel to be around the same age? Because they did Amanda Seyfried and Tom Holland. I don't know if that age would work.
No, if they did like a Tom Holland type of thing, they would need to skew a little longer. Dub Cameron, I think, is also another great choice.
No offense to her at all, but
she already did do the princess angle with Descendants and different things. I personally think the standout casting right is between Florence Pugh.
Mm-hmm.
I do love being a good Amanda Seyfried. I'm not going to doubt you. I think it's great, but I can understand.
And plus, we Sting.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, not a problem. But also, I would say there is a good chance. The other one, Sabrina Carpenter, I also think is a great choice, and things.
Man,
she definitely does need a vehicle.
I can't get over Bruce Campbell as Zeus.
Oh, I know. What an inspiring casting, I tell you. Collider coming out there with everything. All right, let's move on.
Oh, seeing those two go against each other. Oh.
And it's going to be very important. Hercules has a lot of big castings. It's going to be like kind of like The Lion King.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't watch The Lion King. You have to cast everybody right.
Hercules. Now, I understand Mulan got a lot of criticism because it doesn't have any music in it. It only has 2 really significant songs, and they're going to find their way to move on with the orchestra. Hercules, the songs have to be there. You cannot do a songless version of that movie.
Well, I think going forward, I think they have realized that they can't do songless versions of these live actions. They have to be musicals. Because I don't understand. Like Sleeping Beauty or Maleficent and stuff, that was fine.
Yes.
No songs need to be added. Cinderella had 1 song in it.
And
that was fine. It was fine. Lily James can sing, so we weren't complaining or whatever. But Aladdin would not be Aladdin without its music.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast could not watch without its music.
No.
Also, by the way, for anybody's curious, Beauty and the Beast does not hold up 5 years later. So that's sad.
Sorry, how long?
5? It's been 5.
Now,
March was his fifth
I will
anniversary.
riot personally. I will not go see Hercules if the I Can Go the Distance is not in that movie. That song is influential to me. It's important to me, and it needs. And also, I mean, we just talked about it. Lizzo, those ladies on the ceramics are the narrators of the film, but they do it with style. Do not take that from them. Do not let them go, this is the story of a boy from the gods who became a manly man and then became a hero. Don't take that away from them. It's important.
Very curious. I think Tangled, I think there's a lot more elements they can add to it to make it more fleshed out. But Tangled, unlike the Renaissance movies were an hour and like 17 minutes and they had to expand. Tangled already expand on because it was an expanded story upon Rapunzel, making it into a much more fresher adult. And so they could still stick very calmly to the original source material. I personally wouldn't mind. I don't want an exact copy. I've talked about this before. I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Lion King, shot by shot. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I do want added material. I think Cassandra is a great way to add material to an already amazing story. Hercules, however, I'm very curious to see how they're going to expand.
I would love for them to give some more for Meg to do.
I'm sure they will.
Like don't make her just that damsel in distress like she is in the animated film, because we're past that now. Give Meg more to do. Like, explain why her and Hades are on the same level that they are. Like what happened there, like, and how she was able to find where Hercules was going to be. Like, I want that. Now,
I'm also excited for it to be a male. Well, I mean, we had Aladdin, where it's not. I like the idea of continuing down the path of it not just being about the princesses movies, because they do have some really, really good male-centric films. That would be Tarzan. I don't think they'll ever do it though. Sorry,
Tarzan. For God's sakes. I
don't think you can do Tarzan right,
and I don't know why they've never considered it. I think it would let John Favreau, when he wants to do it right, he does it right. I don't think doing the mocap for the animals, it would make sense. I think it's just a little too.
A little too adult.
Why? Why is it a little too adult?
Really?
The only reason that movie's too adult for people is because of how the ending is.
The ending, the beginning, the middle, the movie in general. I mean, go back and watch Tarzan, and we'll have this conversation.
Oh, I have numerous times, Jacob. That movie is the most important film in my life besides Toy Story. Which, by the way, if Disney ever says we're making a live-action Toy Story film, I'm done.
Yep, we're all done. All done.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
I don't think they will, because it's a Pixar film.
So, besides Tangled, what's the other live-action one you want them to do?
Frozen. I think the next step is to go into Frozen.
Now, do you get certain people to come back for that movie, or do you take the risk and cast different people?
I take the risk and I use them as cameos. Yeah.
Way to put the hammer down.
And there's something different. I don't know. I mean.
So what? So if you feel that way about Frozen, then why do you want Mandy and Zachary to come back so much for Tangled?
Well, don't ask me that question.
No. No. If you're willing to say that about Frozen.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I don't personally think Idina Menzel. I don't want her as Elsa.
Tread life carefully there, Jacob. Tread it carefully.
I don't want her as Elsa. I don't.
But she is Elsa.
No, I know. But I think for live action, I think we could choose someone better. Let's say it honestly. Now, I'm a little biased when it comes to the other voice actor here. So, but you can't keep one sister.
No.
For the other sister away.
I
think because they're trying to build like a princess, like just from the ideas that they're throwing out and stuff, like a princess universe or whatever, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting. I think they all need to be around the same age. They have to skew younger. It's the same thing with Tangled. As much as I would love them to cast the people who should be cast, they're too old. I mean, it's just the truth. Mandy Moore is in her 30s or late 30s. Zachary Levi, same. It's just they're great and they're still doing amazing work today, and that's the same case for everybody else. I don't personally think Idina Menzel would come back and do Frozen, just based off certain things that you read on the internet and things.
It's terrible. It's absolutely. I feel so bad for her.
So I don't think that would be. I don't think it would even be a question.
And plus, Disney's getting her already for Alphaba for Wicked. So they got her already with that.
So who knows? We'll talk about if it gets announced or anything like that. But I think that would be nice way to go.
For me, the next one I want to see them do properly is Peter Pan.
Peter Pan is also a great one, but I'm trying to choose ones that have not been remade already.
Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think. I know, but
too dark.
But to me, those are the most. I think those are the ones that would translate the best over to live action. I think Hunchback is an important story. I think it's and yes, does it revolve around a lot of religion? Yes. One of the most important songs of that film is very, very, very adult. But I think the moral of that movie is an important message for kids. And so I think if they're willing to do it, I think they should be willing to do it in live action.
I don't think they are, but who am I to know? Disney is making interesting choices.
So. I completely agree on that.
So we're going to move back into a normal news story that actually has some dirt and things.
We teased this during the Endgame commentary at the end of it. We teased it.
So Universal made some interesting statements, and some important theater chains such as AMC
and Regal
also made some interesting statements as well. Mm-hmm. Those statements are Universal's like, I'm all high and mighty. My only movie that did really well, it did amazing. And so fuck you, theaters. Is basically under those lines. Not really. I think a lot of people took it as that way. They're saying movies like Fast and Furious, Jurassic World and stuff will go to theaters because those have chances of making $1 billion. They have a chance to do really well at the box office. But movies like smaller films that Universal puts out, which don't normally tend to do very well, but they like making them, will go straight to video on demand because it was a very profitable thing. Theaters, obviously.
I'll play the AMC part. And AMC went, we're just going to cancel you. Bye.
I do believe that by the end of the summer, possibly middle of fall, they'll come down to an agreement or whatever. If that's the fact that AMC goes back on their word, I think it's possible.
Now, Jacob, we have to genuinely talk about this as a real thing. What if they don't?
Well, then all those movies that you are really excited about, you get to watch at home. I would personally say sell the bigger titles to other studios.
I specifically am asking you because of Universal. How do you feel about 9 now?
That's what I mean. I would say sell the titles.
To what, other companies?
Yep.
How does that make you feel, though? I mean, Universal's held down to that franchise since the beginning of it.
It's okay. They're $1 billion franchise. If you're not going to make the money off it, let somebody else do it. That's my personal opinion on it. I personally, though, because the theaters are in such bad shapes, they can't. They will go back on their word.
They have to.
They will.
Because
they'll come down to an agreement.
AMC would be losing so much revenue from people because they couldn't go see Fast and Furious, Jurassic World, all these movies in theaters because of one little film.
But you have to remember, Universal also owns Illumination, and so any Minions movies,
movies, not coming out this year. If it was coming out still, it would not be coming out this year, and that'd be crazy to think about.
Well, no, if it was still coming out this year, it would still have come out because some coronavirus would.
But it wouldn't be going out in theaters, though. If that's the case.
No, it would. It would have, because then everything would have been normal. I think this. I personally do believe these movies are too big. Theaters would make too much money off of it. They're going to go out. I think they're going to cut a deal. Like, hey, fine, Comcast, you're being a dick. It's whatever. Cut me in. If you want to send these movies out to streaming, well, then you're going to have to give me a deal. How about 30/70 or whatever?
So let's say they make a deal and they're allowed back in theaters. Do you think one of the things of that contract would be like there'll be limited theaters for those movies coming in?
Yeah, I think there is a possibility you could see that, limited theaters, or it's a shorter window run. So let's say Fast and Furious, instead of having a normal 4-month to 5-month run, depending on how popular the movie it is. It's now cut down to a month or a month and a half, and then it goes straight to digital.
But then,
and so then you have a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just going to wait until digital and not go and see it in the movie theater or whatever it could be. But that's the price that Universal had to pay for making such a broad statement. I mean, I think a lot of, especially for these next few movies that are coming up, Tenet, which we'll talk about here in a minute, Mulan, Wonder Woman, SpongeBob, that type of stuff, they're right here at the end of all this when we're supposed to be getting back into society and things. I think they're all going to have shorter windows anyways. I think they're all going to be in theaters for a month and a half, and then straight to video on demand because there's more money to be made at people staying at home. Yet is there? I don't honestly know if that's true or not, which we'll get into in a minute.
I think we'll find out on May 15th whether or not this is still going to work. Scoob. I think Scoob will be the real big decision on whether or not this is still going to work because Trolls happened right at the thick of this. Scoob is coming at the very end of it, kind of, sort of. So we're going to see if people are willing to spend that $20 to just straight buy the film.
Or, no. It's $20 to rent, $25 to buy. Am I paying $45 this week on movies? Yes, I am.
What do you
own movies?
Which ones?
We're owning Scoob. We'll own that on Friday. Then also I'm going to buy The Invisible Man when it comes out on Tuesday. So, and those are both $20. I mean, you can see it's so. We'll get into that. Invisible Man's an interesting one. We'll circle back around to that when we're talking about what's coming out this month. But let's continue on. Moving forward, I think this is a very interesting story, and I can't wait to see the development. I just want to put it out there saying, hey, this is something we're going to be covering over the next few months. And so get some popcorn, get ready type of thing, because like it's going to be an overarching thing. Some things that are happening, though, across the pond from us and over in Florida, Disneyland Orlando, which is in Florida. Their version of Disneyland is more closed off. It's not the one that everybody goes to. It's not the big one in the United States. And so it is being talked about being opened at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I think there's some problems with that, personally. They do have a huge plan for it. I think some of this stuff is pretty good. But the more interesting thing here, and honestly, it truly is the more interesting thing, is the poll that came out of this. So people were asking, are you going to go back to the movies? Are you going to go back? Are you going to go back into your normal life once you can? 40% of the population that got polled said yes. And it broke it down into different categories and stuff. 40% of people said they would go back to the movies opening weekend, even with the threat of being, having a virus staring you directly in the face. 60% of people said they would go back to amusement parks opening weekend. So there's that. What society do we live in? And that's mostly what I want to talk about with you. Not so much of, oh my God, this is opening, because it's an in-house park. I mean, the people who live there are probably the people who are going to be going there, type of thing.
So I can actually talk about this from a personal experience. I work in a store over here in Fairfield called Jungle Gyms. It is basically an amusement park for grocery shopping. We have a lot of attractions in there, a lot of things you can do, and it's the thing that makes the most money for our town. And for the past, since this all started, 6 feet in my ass, I work over in our seafood department, and it's like a little sardine cup. Everybody's staying close to each other, and it's ridiculous. No one's following it. It's a bunch of bullshit, and no one's following it. No one's being strict about it. Yes, we make an announcement every other hour saying, hey, 6 feet apart, keep all your groups together, all that stuff. And some people listen to it, absolutely. But other people just don't give a shit. And so hearing that people are willing to go back to amusement parks while this is still going on scares me, because it just underlines the point. A lot of people just don't care. They don't care what the threat is, how it's going to affect people. They just don't care. They want to get back to normalcy, and I fucking hate it. I risk my life every day for 8 to 10 hours to give people food and they can't have the decency to look at each other and go 6 feet, safety, and I have to go there and deal with them. So I would feel absolutely terrible for any amusement park people dealing with. We have to keep these lines 6 feet, like 6 inches apart between each amusement lines. Do you realize how many people would get pissed if they had to wait in a line that long for a ride?
Yeah,
I couldn't imagine it. I just
and
couldn't.
so that's why there's things that they're going to be putting forward to. Why am I dying? I don't know, guys. But there's things that people are going to be putting forward to try to help, like, regulate this and stuff. So it's not so bad, but still.
It really is. And, you know, we really don't talk about this. I mean, we talk about it in the sense of film and how it's affecting that. We really don't talk about it because it sucks to talk about, but it's a blatant thing. If people want us to get back to normalcy, then accept what your government and your governors of your states are doing. Realize they're doing it for your benefit and not for their own. Follow what they want and just let it happen. I feel like you and I got lucky when it comes to our governors and how they're reacting to what's going on and how we're moderately laying things open. There are certain states that got the worst end of this stick. Florida is a great example of that. It's an absolute great example of that. They waited too long. The whole spring break nonsense earlier this year, and they want to reopen their park after all of that. Use your brain, not what's going on in your hand. At this time...
Yeah, it's all about the economy. I mean, that's what all this stuff is. It's all about the economy. That's why restaurants are opening. That's why all these things are opening. Movie theaters.
I'm not going back into a restaurant for at least another good 2 months. I'm not taking that risk. It's not worth it. My favorite store of all time opens back up on the 12th. I'm not going.
The only thing that I would go to is the movie theater. And that's it. That's the only place I would go. Except for, like, my job. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm going back to my job here and tomorrow. And so, like, that type of thing. So...
obviously we're going to keep updated with what's going on, but honestly, people, listen to what they're telling you to do. They're not telling.
But here's the thing: there's a lot of people who are telling a lot of places that are telling them they can go out and stuff. But I mean, just go online, search Mother's Day, look at all the people who went out for Mother's Day and states that they could, and look and see how much of a sardine box it is. It's because it's just like it's a taste of freedom. It's a tiny taste of freedom, and we're all going to run wild with it. Like, oh, we can go to the movies? Tenet's only showing? Well, then I'm going to go see Tenet 4 times because I can.
I am scared to death to see what we are going to be like once things start going back into modernization again. I mean, it's going to be ridiculous. You're not going to be able to do anything, go anywhere, see anything because they're going to be full. And it's not... And... for the people who are not going to take that risk and go out at the time, they're going to be the ones that get left out of it. And so by the time they're ready to go back in, they're not going to have time to do it or get in to be able to do it because people are going to be rushing it like idiots.
All right, continuing down the line of things is, I figure this is a great time to segue into it, is that theaters are opening. Theaters in Florida, for instance, are opening. Pictures and stuff got put online today or over this weekend of the theaters showing kind of what they're doing. So big takeaways. I think the biggest takeaways from all the news headlines and stuff that came out of this is that obviously everybody from huge theater chains, like people who are the runners, the business people behind it and stuff, went to these places. They did show new release movies that were already slated, such as I Still Believe or Bloodshot, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. But they also showed cheaper movies, such as Harry Potter, and there was also another one. Sorry for everybody who's listening by audio. Can you hear me hiccup? I know it's annoying, but it's also annoying for me, so just deal. And then also, other things to take away, so that could happen. So Tenet might not be on every screen, because they might try that in other places if it's successful. Then also, they have a no-touch, there's a no-hand policy. You have to pay for your ticket online before you get there. You don't even print off your ticket. It's a whole thing. Then you're not allowed to give anybody your card or anything at concessions. It has to be done through your phone. They have to be able to scan your phone. It's a big thing. The doors cannot be touched. So if you're going into the movie theater, somebody is there to open the door for you. You cannot actually touch the door. Trying to help everybody, trying not to get sick and things. You do have to wear a mask when you enter the movie theater. But there is something that's very interesting that you don't have to do. Then there is somebody, they're leaving the doors open inside the movie theater. So, like, if you're walking into a theater, normally they close the doors when the movie starts. That's not going to be the case anymore. They're going to leave them open for anybody who needs to walk in or walk out can. So someone's not there 24/7 trying to regulate that one door.
Yeah.
Most people who are going into the movie theater, so as soon as they sit down inside their seat that they had reserved, they're taking off their mask and laying it to the side.
So then what's the point of wearing it into the theater if you're just going to be taking off around a bunch of people anyway?
And so they can eat their food and things. Ironically, that's not something they talked about, though, was how they're delivering their food, how that works, how concessions work. None of that was mentioned in any of the headlines I read, or I guess articles in this case I read. But those are the big takeaways, is the fact that it's touchless. There's hand sanitizer. They're trying to keep it safe for you the best they possibly can. And people did go. People did go see movies. So
I understand you said that you'd be going back to theaters. Would you be willing to go through all that process just to go sit down and watch a movie?
Yep.
Just hearing about it kind of makes you want to stay back for a little bit and wait.
Yeah, that's fine. My guess.
My one issue with how this is all going to go, unfortunately, is the whole touch thing. I get it, understand it. I don't want to hear another movie 2 doors down while I'm trying to watch mine because it got loud. Like, say I'm going to watch like a small, quiet, intimate film in my theater, and one door behind me is playing Jurassic Park 4: Rise of the T-Rex, and all of a sudden during like this very emotional moment.
Yeah, but okay. By the time Jurassic Part 4, Rise of the T-Rex, highly unlikely. But by the time that comes out, the door is going to be closed. Like, your fight is nothing.
But you understand what I'm saying, though.
I get it. I would use Tenet as an example. You know,
Fine.
Say you're watching an intimate film, such as like I Still Believe, which is extremely quiet. I can write the fact that I just watched it a few days ago, and Tenet is playing right beside you, and you hear nothing but like whatever the action sequences might be in there.
Wouldn't that annoy you?
I just sit by tiny theaters anyways. It doesn't make a difference.
You're just ready to go back to a theater. You really don't care what you do.
I'm perfectly fine with it. And my rule is that I had to go back to work first. I wasn't allowed in the theater, and so I was physically having to go outside. And I physically have to go outside now, and so that's my excuse. And so when they say I can go back, Jesus, Jacob, stop it.
I think this is the chocolate finally getting out of your system.
I don't know. It's something. But I do have to say, though, I'm only going back to the movie theater when they start playing new releases.
Yep.
So if that's not until...
Well, however, if my theater says they're playing an Infinity War Endgame back-to-back screening, you bet your ass I'm going to watch that.
Yep. I'll be right there. There. Hold my seat.
Or even for me, if they say we're playing all 7 Harry Potter films over the next 2 days. Hi, yep. Lord of the Rings. Hi, how are you?
I'm gonna stay home. Yeah.
No, but because for me, I mean, like, that's just. I get to go watch Endgame in theaters just because I have nothing else better to do. Fine by me.
Well, what I'm saying is that it's very unlikely, and more than likely, it's going to be like, let's say, I don't know, Tenet.
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 The film, I've never heard Nolan more excited about a movie that he's made, and yet we've barely seen anything from it.
Which we'll know by this week if we are going to see anything from it. Or not, because the movie itself cost $205 million to make before advertising. It's a big blockbuster, which means it's going to have at least $100 million in advertising. And so Warner Brothers needs to make the official announcement they're willing to lose all that money to put it in theaters right away.
Lose a lot of money.
But like I had mentioned before, with the theaters are opening, but the big chains need to open. New York, LA, those places. The places where movie going is important. If I go to the movie theater, it doesn't make a difference. 60,000 people in New York go to the movie theater, it makes a bigger difference. Also, China needs to open back up. Overseas, it cannot be based on us.
Now,
we need the other markets as well.
Let me ask you this. Let's say all these theaters reopen, but New York and LA specifically just don't open yet because they're not comfortable with it. Is it worth opening them at that point still?
No, it's called hold back. Hold back.
Do you realize, though, if that's the case, the summer would have come and gone with not a single release in theater? That's crazy.
I've not been in the theater since March 17th, for anybody who is curious. March 17th.
I haven't been in the theater since February.
Yeah, Zachary, that's depressing. Because you could have went in March.
The last movie, Jacob, I saw in theaters, I not kid you, was when we saw Birds of Prey.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry.
I know, it hurts. It really hurts.
Moving forward, we do have Midnight. We'll talk about more about Tenet next week, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
we had a little thought, and yeah. So Zachary was asking me about a book called Midnight Sun, which got announced earlier this week. Midnight Sun is, well, okay, you're gonna find this to be really stupid. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Midnight Sun was announced 10 years ago. When Breaking Dawn was done, Stephanie Meyer had no intentions of writing hosts, the chemists, or whatever things that have popped out of her brain since then that I've not read. She had no intentions. She wanted to continue the universe of Twilight. But before the big, attractions like Grey, when 50 Shades of Grey did that whole let's tell what happens in Grey's mind or whatever, there was Twilight. And in Twilight, she wanted to do an Edward Collins version of Twilight. A more grittier, darker version of Twilight that she could not show because it wasn't from the vampire side.
Grittier.
Yeah, those were her words. Okay.
Grittier.
So, someone thought it'd be really, really funny 10 years ago to get on her laptop, hack into her laptop, and leak the first 160 pages of the book. The book itself was rumored to come out, was going to be around 900 pages for the first Twilight film, which in retrospect is 546 pages more than the original book itself.
Yeah.
Because Edward has a lot of things going inside his head. The first 160 pages of the book only covered the first 3 chapters of the novel. This is obviously the rough draft version or whatever. I have all the word counts. I have all of everything. I got to do
that point. It's a novella. It's not a novel. It's an epic.
Well, yeah, but the last Twilight was 946.
I consider Breaking Dawn an epic.
I don't really know if we agree on the same page here, but that's fine. So, in retrospect, or whatever, it came out that, hey, we are getting Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun is Edward's version of Twilight. The problem with this, my issue lies, did I go ahead and pre-order it? Yes. Am I looking forward to it? Yes, because of the simple fact that I thought it was better writing than Twilight was. So, and that was 10 years ago.
It's also learned from 10 years to now.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, could you imagine? Great. Excited.
And also, no offense to Bella, Edward's a more interesting character than she was.
But she already did this. When Twilight turned 10 years, she released a copy of the book, which you could flip, and would have another story on the other side. Now, it's not exactly this. She gender swapped the roles. And so Edward's character was Bella's character, and Bella was Edward's character. It was horrible. It was pure trash. Highly don't recommend at all. I felt very Donald Trump there. So, it's very interesting. That was the feeling I got. Midnight Sun, however, is coming out in August as its release date. August 4th to be exact, is 672 pages long.
Well, she cut out a lot of it.
Well, the whole book wasn't done, and so the average was going to be around there. And it's currently 1745, but if you tell anybody, like literally anybody that you pre-order it from Amazon, which is where I'm looking at right now, they will kill you. So careful. Oh, by the way, if anybody's curious, the cover is a pomegranate, but I can show you anyways. That's what if you're curious, that's the cover.
That. Okay. I got it, Jake.
That's the cover.
I waited almost 2 hours from when we started our conversations to that point to find out what Midnight Sun was. And I have to tell you, all that anticipation really didn't pay off.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's interesting. It is. But also, fun facts here. So we were talking, the reason why we brought this up, the reason why we categorize this as movie is because if this does well, which, spoiler, it's going to do well, they're going to greenlit a TV show or a movie or something, possibly something for HBO Max, whatever it might be, because it is a Warner Brothers property, because it's made by Summit, which is whatever.
Yeah.
So the next best way to go with this is, instead of doing this, because no one wants an Edward version of Twilight the movie. Like, I wouldn't pay to see it. I don't think anybody would pay to see it. Yeah. I already saw it.
Yeah.
I'll read it, but I won't Yeah, it's all different. So it's to continue on with the life. Like, let's go with their children. Let's go with Taylor's character, Jacob, and then their child, and that creepy imprinting and how they're going to fall in love and stuff. Let's continue down that line, because there was a very big speculation that Midnight Sun would never come out because of all the controversy and stuff that happened 10 years ago, and that this would be a sequel to Breaking Dawn. It was not, and the reaction has been mixed. A lot of people, if you're a huge fan of Twilight when we were younger, you're excited for it because you've been waiting 10 years, and it's like this whole big thing. But also, like, you're a brand new Twilight fan, you probably don't care.
Yeah.
You would probably prefer a sequel to Breaking Dawn. And so that's why I say they should do it with the movies or a TV show or something.
You know what this also means? It bring Taylor Lautner back out of the Excusity.
No, Taylor Lautner has been acting, actually. He has his own TV show and everything.
Wow, apparently it's so good I've heard about it. He takes things way too literally, and sometimes it's really funny, and sometimes I'm like, I was just making a sarcastic joke. I don't even know what title the show is or where it's at.
I don't really care.
If you're still with us,
Chucko. That's what it's called.
Sorry?
Chucko.
Gesundheit?
That's what it's called. It's called Chucko.
Oh?
It's 5th season. So, boom. Fuck. Yeah. So, moving on. That's all the stories. And now we're going to come into what's coming out this month, because it's an hour and 22 minutes. Do you think we can end it in like 3 minutes? No. But at least we hit the hour 26 mark.
High five.
Yeah.
This is our longest podcast, probably.
No. But good. Yeah. So we're going to go through the DVD release list.
I hear you trying to say good. Oh, hiccup.
We're going to go through the DVD release dates. I do want to mention, however, in here that there is several of these that you can already rent for cheaper. And if I find one or see one that I know that is cheaper than what it's saying on here, I will let you know as well. All right. Here it is. Here's the list. We're going to go through last week because, well, we didn't have a podcast last week. So
if you want to know why we didn't have a podcast last week, go watch Avengers Endgame commentary.
Yeah. Totally. So, some movies that came out last week are Gretel and Hansel. Zach, are you going to watch Gretel and Hansel?
No.
Oh no, why not?
No.
Doesn't it just seem so fun to you?
No.
Bloodshot, you can now rent it.
Maybe.
I still believe. We'll talk about it later. And then The Lodge were the big movies that came out. Arkansas is also doing extremely well. I have no idea what's about, but it's doing really well. So.
What's The Lodge?
Oh, The Lodge. So there's this Dutch movie called Goodnight Mommy. And
no, I'm good. I can already tell where that's going. I'm fine.
And so this is what they made afterwards. It's with Riley and then Jaden Martell, which is a great actress. But
nah, I'm good.
It might be a little religious. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. I'll be watching in a few weeks.
Cool.
So, any thoughts? Any opinions?
The only one that really piques my mind on there is Bloodshot. I Still Believe is your typical religion film, so I just
Really not, but we'll talk about it.
Okay. But the rest of them, nothing really stands out. That's it.
Okay. Well, Bloodshot was good. I do recommend. It was a fun movie. Fun time. So this week's brings us to Birds of Prey, which you can have already rented beforehand. So, But with Birds of Prey, by the way, you can now buy it, like actually as a Blu-ray. So that's cool. That's fun.
Which, to be completely honest about Birds of Prey, at this point, if you've not either rented it or bought it digitally, why'd you wait so long?
This is true, but maybe it did. So, Also, want to mention that on Tuesday, that's not on here, it's a little further down, Invisible Man becomes available to buy, and so you can buy it. That's something that's coming out. The Call of Wild, I highly recommend you rent. Fantasy Island will be rented, so we'll let you know how that is.
I'm sorry, Jake.
I'm sorry for myself, but, it's fine. All right, is there anything else in here that piques your interest? Anything you're excited about?
We own the two movies. I've seen one, and I'm going to watch the other one eventually. So no.
Cool. Also, I'm looking forward to Fear in Europe. I'll probably end up renting that as well.
What's the?
It's a little probably too confusing for your brain cells, but it's okay. So, moving on to Tuesday, May 19th. All right, we're gonna be kind of blunt here because I feel like some people just need to hear it. Some people need to hear it real. One, you can rent Sonic right now. Why are you waiting to pay $20 to own it?
Yeah,
it's not worth it. But still,
that's your opinion.
It should be everybody's opinion, honestly. I'm worried about Disney Plus. Why don't you have Disney Plus? These are questions we need to know the answers to. And why are you willing to pay $20 for a service that you can only pay $6 for?
By the way, he's saying all this. Even if you don't have Disney Plus, go watch Onward. You're not going to be disappointed.
Great movie. Great movie.
Fantastic film.
Much better than the other trash that's next to it. The Way Back is able to rent if you want to rent it already. The Boy 2, I don't know. Could not tell you, but possibly. Emma, you can officially buy now. So, more than likely, if you're renting Emma, you probably are going to want to own Emma. It's a niche film, so just go ahead and make the purchase. It's probably cheaper that way. I'll save you some money. I know what this is, but I also don't know what this is all at the same time. Buffalo looked interesting. I know what it is, but I couldn't explain to you what it was either. It's so weird. Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War.
I've heard nothing but good things about this movie.
This is the final film in the 15-film DC animation franchise.
Can we talk about that for a second? Did you realize it's been 15 movies since this started?
I did not.
Yeah, ironically, you know what this movie started with? Flashpoint.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I thought Justice League War was the first one of that little thing, but nope, it was Flashpoint.
Then we also have Last Moments of Clarity, which I'll see because of Samara leaving. Then we also have The Good Place final season, which I'm excited about because that means it finally can come to freaking Netflix. So,
that also means I can finally watch the darn thing.
Yeah, you idiot for not watching it sooner. So, this list of things, what draws your attention automatically?
For me, it's The Way Back. The Way Back in Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. Those are the stand out me the most. I've been wanting to see The Way Back for the longest time now. I've been waiting patiently for it to be able to rent and or purchase. And now that I can soon, I'm really looking forward to it. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I've followed this story arc for DC since it started. I've seen every single one of these movies. And yes, they are hits and misses. Don't get me wrong. But I've heard nothing but good things for the ending of this. And the fact that the DC Comics got an entire 15-film run in animated form and got to end it before the DC live-action ones did, I find kind of funny. I'm not going to lie.
I also want to mention to anybody, Justice League Apocalypse War is based off a comic book. But for this particular movie, it's extremely loosely based off of that comic book.
And
it's not the story
very much rated R.
Oh, yes, hard R. Yep.
Which, by the way, who saw that coming?
I mean, I kind of did. That's kind of where they're moving into. So for May 26th, the big movie out here is The Invisible Man. But I'm assuming if you're going to buy it, you're going to buy the digital version. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The only movie in here that I would actually probably purchase, like DVD wise, would be Birds of Prey.
For me, it'd be Onward.
Oh no,
that
makes sense.
You know me. I have a Disney collection. I own my ones. I love Coco. I love all those kind of movies, and so I would own Onward.
Hey Zachary.
Yeah.
I think I know a perfect movie we should watch together.
Onward.
No.
Actually, Jacob, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was actually going to ask you if you want the next commentary to be Sonic the Hedgehog.
I had a few comments on some recent videos on this channel asking if we could react to it. And why not react to the whole movie?
Let's do it.
All right. We'll have a date soon.
Our next commentary is on Sonic the Hedgehog.
We're definitely moving up in the world.
Yeah. We're going from Avengers Endgame to Sonic. What a turn.
What a depressing life we live. So, next I'm going to go through, I'm going to very quickly run through a whole list of TV shows that are going to be starting.
This is the part of the podcast where I go get some more pizza. Jacob, please continue.
So, it's a whole list of things, and I'm going to laugh, and there's something on here that he's going to like, really? From across the room. So, starting with May 1st, which today is May 10th, so don't judge us. We're a little behind on schedule. Hollywood Season 1 comes out. Upload Season 1. I've seen both those, so they're great. You should watch them. Trying Season 2, which is an Apple TV Plus TV show. Betty, which I have no idea what that is, but it's HBO. Ghost Rider Season 1, Part 2, Apple TV Plus. Into the Night Season 1, Netflix. Reckoning Season 1, Netflix. What?
Ghost Rider?
Not like writer, but like WRITER.
Whoa, I was like, when did that happen?
Yep. Nope. May 3rd is Billions Season 5. It's its premiere. Any of these season things that are on like Showtime or whatever are the premieres of the TV shows. They don't actually have the episodes overall. Just to give you a heads up. The Real Housewives of Potato Mac? I'm not really sure. Season 4 is Bravo. Rick and Morty Season 4, Adult Swim. Heard mixed things about that season so far. May 4th,
It's actually not been so bad.
May 4th is Crip Show Season 1, AMC. Reno 911 Season 1. It's the reboot on Quibi. Has the same exact cast, though. Unless Useless Celebrity History Season 1, Quibi also. Disney Galleries, The Mandalorian Season 1, Disney Plus. May 5th is Jerry Seinfeld's 23 Hours to Kill. Not heard super great things about that so far. $1 Million.
It's okay.
Yeah, like I heard it's mostly old stuff. Like there's not a lot of new content there.
It's not TVMA, so he's not really going all for it when it comes to the jokes. It was just okay.
$1 Million Listing Los Angeles Season 12, Bravo. May 6th is Working Mom Season 4 on Netflix. I know a lot of people who like that TV show, so there you go. May 7th is Blind Spot Season 5, its premiere. Tyler Perry's Bruh Season 1, BET Plus. Celebrity Watch Party, Fox. That sounds interesting. I don't know what it is, though. But it does sound interesting. May 8th is...
I know what Celebrity Watch Party is. So every week, you're going to watch a either film or TV series or TV episode with a celebrity. It's like a watch-along.
That could be really interesting basing on who is going to be a part of the episodes and stuff and what they're going to be watching. That could be good. That could also be really bad. So, like, it's a mixed bag there. May 8th is Dead to Me Season 2. Go stream it right now if you haven't. So, our opposites is Season 1 at Hulu. The Eddie, Season 1, Netflix, which got a lot of traction over the weekend. Robbie, Season 1, Comedy Central. Jimmy O Yang, Good Deal, Amazon. May 10th is, sorry, there's a lot, but I figured a lot of people want to know this stuff, so that's why I'm reading it. May 10th is Feeding America Comedy Festival, NBC. I Know This Much Is True, Season 1, HBO. J.J. Vildor Fairy Tale, Season 2, Adult Swim. Oh, they're just hitting everything. Good for them. May 11th is Trial by Media, Season 1. That sounds interesting. Blackballed, Season 1 is Quibi. Barkitecture, which I'm assuming is about dogs? Question mark. Season 1 is also Quibi, so it's probably going to be weird. Breakaway Camp with Martha Stewart. Wow. If there's not weed involved, I don't want to watch it, and that's the honest truth. Season 1, Food Network. Amy Schumer Learns to Cook. It's officially premiering. Season 1, also, that is on May 11th. We had just talked about that a few weeks ago. May 12th, Hollywood Game Night, Season 7. The Happy Days, Gary Marshall. If there's anything in here that sounds interesting to you, let me know.
Will do.
May 14th, The Mystery Index, Season 2, TBS. The Great, Season 1, Hulu. I'm pretty sure that's the one with Ella Fanning, if I'm not mistaken. Masters of...
Oh, so good.
Is that right? I want to say that's right. Yeah. It's the Ella Fanning one. Yeah.
Really good.
It's the middle of the month. Master of Illusion, Season 10, CW. Did not know that was on the CW. It's a Dog's Life, Season 1, Disney+. The Last Narc miniseries, Amazon. May 17th is Hightown, Season 1, Stars. Snowpiercer finally premieres on TNT. It's been a
If you love the movie, watch the show.
I heard great things from the different things I've leaked and stuff from it. I hate to say that it leaked, but like, what culture do we live in? May 18th, The Now, Season 1, BBC Radio 4. Centerpiece, Season 1 is Quibi. May 19th is Stargirl, which I will be doing, I think I'm going to react to, which is the CW. The New Genetic Detective, Season 1, ABC. May 20th is Game On, Season 1. At Home with Annie Sedaris, True TV. Gay Window Garage, Season 6, NBC. The 100, Season 7, which I definitely am reacting to, the CW. Ultimate Tag, Season 1. May 21st is Burden of Truth, Season 3. The Splits, Season 2, which is on Sundance. Pence, Season 1, which is also on Sundance. Holy Moly's, the sequel. Okay. ABC. Labor of Love, Season 1, Fox. To Tell the Truth, Season 5, ABC. May 22nd, Homecoming, Season 2, Amazon. Selling Sunsets, Season 2, Netflix.
Are we going up?
What?
How far are we going? Like into what month?
Oh, we're only reading May.
Okay.
I'm just letting people know for this month. I have the whole list, but like, that's too much reading. May 25th, Life Size Toy Factory. That should be interesting for you. Season 1 is on Quibi. I can give you my information in case you're interested.
I'm fine.
I'm just saying. The Titan Game, Season 2 is on NBC. Barkskin, Season 1, National Geographic. That kind of sounds like Carol Baskin. So funny. Grant, miniseries, History. May 26th, Maris. What?
Still haven't seen it, and I'm happy I have.
Casting announcement. Nicolas Cage. They literally went with Nicolas Cage. I'm so mad.
Casting, but I'm still not going to watch Titan King.
I think it's very simple and very dumb casting. So like we not the same page. May 26th is America's Got Talent, Season 15. World of Dance, Season 4. All these, it's interesting to me the way they're doing that stuff. Those are both on NBC. If anybody's curious, I'm assuming they're premiering like hours stuff.
It's gonna be weird.
May 27th is Margins, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7, final season, ABC. Legendary Season 1, HBO Max. The Not Too Late Show with Elmo, which I'm super duper looking forward to, also comes out for HBO Max.
I asked you earlier last week on the podcast if you're excited for Elmo. You went, it's okay. That trailer took you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
It's so good.
It was so good.
It's like such a good time. It's so cool. I love the concept. It just Elmo fits perfectly.
Love Life Season 1, HBO Max. American Soul Season 2, BET. May 29th, Rami Season 2, Hulu. Central Park Season 1, Apple Plus. Apple TV Plus,
You're about to
Space
throw
Force.
people into a curveball when you said Central Perk. Like, is there going to be a show?
Yeah, I got really excited there too, so like it's
Yeah.
fine. Space Force Season 1 Netflix.
Oh, wait.
Somebody Feed Phil, the third course. Weird name, Netflix. But there you go. If that's something that interests you, you can feed Phil too. May 31st is Celebrity Family Feud, Season 6. Press Your Luck, Season 2. How are they going to do Family Feud? Do they film in advance?
I think so.
I hope so, because, like, wow, how are you going to do that from home? Everybody, hit a buzzer. Oh, shit, my buzzer doesn't work. Like, what's going on? Sorry. Press Your Luck, Season 2, ABC. Quiz, miniseries, AMC. Match Game, Season 5, ABC. What the Jesus? I don't fucking know. Okay, well, there you go.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
You don't think Space Force looks good?
I didn't watch the trailer, so I have no comment.
Now there's one show that didn't show up on there. That I think this should also get some kind of love. It's not going on in like any major. It's on YouTube. Paradise City, coming out with Bella Thorne. Her show coming out, Paradise City.
Hold on.
It's got Cameron Monaghan in it not Cameron Monaghan. The Cameron Boyce.
Yep, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
You really don't know?
I truly have. I didn't know this was coming out.
Half the Anarchy and half the cast from Descendants with Bella Thorne. It's a rock.
No, I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was I didn't know it had a trailer and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. But
have you seen the cast for that show?
That's how I knew. I knew it because of Bella Thorne. I'm like, yeah, Zachary, I know it's coming, but I don't think it's coming so soon. I guess I'm wrong. I guess it's. Did we get you a date for that?
Huh?
What?
Opie's in the show.
I know, Zachary. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Okay, so let's see here. So sad.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good.
Watch projects.
No, he has a movie that's coming out next year, and that will be his last project.
Well, but this was like one of his like one.
Yeah, I feel bad for anything that he was a part of TV show wise, because I know this was supposed to be something that could have been a bigger thing
for him.
Well, overall could have been a bigger thing, and now, it's harder. Like they're just talking about, they did an interview about Descendants 4 was something they had just recently talked about, and everybody in the cast said they wouldn't come back and do it because it'd be too weird. And that I would say would probably go forward with everything else as well. Is that
honestly, I don't think anybody really wants to Descendants 4 right now. I think I agree with the cast. I think it'd be too weird for them to try to do a fourth one.
So there is no release date for it yet.
Oh, I thought it was coming out this. I kept getting like promotions for it. So like I guess it's coming out soon. I guess never mind.
No, it is coming out in 2020. The trailer dropped on May 1st, and by the way, it has over 10 million views. So yeah, I really feel left out of the party now. That's fine. All right, we're moving into our final section. Jesus, we talked for a very long time. We had a lot of opinions about those Hercules and Tangled things, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And Star Wars, man. Star Wars took a lot of our time. Speaking of.
So what have we been watching?
Well,
now, this is over the past 2 weeks because we weren't here for the last week. So just
I know what you watched because we've watched the ending of it together. Me and Jacob. I can finally stop talking about it because it's done. I've now watched the finale of Clone Wars, Jake, at least 3 times, and every time now I cry at the end because I never really looked at the screen when we were watching it together. And I mean, I was watching it obviously, but I really wasn't paying attention. There's a certain shot at the end of the episode. I'm not gonna say who. Well, it's all over the internet. I don't care. When you see Darth Vader at the end of the show, one side of his face has the blue in his eye, and one side of his face has the red from his helmet. and when you see the lightsaber go out, it's just black on the side where the lightsaber was from a blue, and it just shows that Anakin's no longer has anything to be hopeful for. He chose the wrong path, and it just came back to bite him in the ass. And just watching that all in a helmet shot, and just guys, go watch Clone Wars.
Well, Zachary, it just makes me so happy. Yep, that's such a happy.
It's such a good show. And I didn't realize. I thought it was more than 100 more than 100 episodes. It's only 133. I thought it was more.
I thought it was more than 100, though. I mean,
well, I thought it was more. I thought it was over just 100, but it was more than that.
Anything else you watched?
I am currently going through and watching Gotham officially for the first time.
Suckers watching a TV show game, man.
I instantly regretted started watching it when I watched the first episode. I completely forgot about the pilot.
No, the first season is horrible.
Oh my god!
The second season where it gets good. The
second gets better. I know. And I finally hit the button. I'm just diving into it for the first time. I'm starting with the fourth one. I am watching Doctor Who. I've been pushing it off because I'm like, I'm only part of this. It's too much to handle. But I'm starting with the David Tennant era, and I have to say, I now know why people won't stop talking about it. It's really, 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 really good. BBC can never put out anything bad. They just can't. They can't. And what else have I been watching? Oh, Disney Gallery, Mandalorian, episode 2. I'm watching it tonight. So, watch a couple movies here now and again. I watched Jerry Seinfeld's new comedy special. And then I watched Dave Chappelle's new special on Netflix too. And
that was pretty good.
It was really good. But yeah, no movies lately. I've been kind of keeping it quiet until some movies I actually want to watch come out. So
you watched Avengers Endgame?
Endgame, well, I'll watch Endgame on any day.
Well, we did watch Avengers Endgame. We both did.
It was a fantastic time.
It was. Well, I'll start with TV shows. I have no control over anything that I do or watch, so I've been watching both YouTube TV shows and basically about everything else. So I'm just going to run through the list real fast. I watched Survive the Night, Escape the Night. It's a YouTube original, and it was complete and utter trash. So, but I did watch the whole first 3 seasons. So, Jacob has no control when it comes to trash television, it seems like. I watched Gilmore Girls, continuing on, Gossip Girl, Dynasty, but those are things I've talked about in the past. Hollywood, I watched the entirety of Hollywood. I enjoyed it. If it's something you're interested in or the trailer intrigued you or whatever, I think you would probably enjoy it as well. Just know it's very extreme.
I've heard.
In every sense of the way. Even when you don't think they're going to go there.
I've seen the Jim Parsons dance scene.
Oh, yeah, that was very
scarring. The less said about it, the better.
Jim Parsons in general is interesting thing to know about beforehand, just because it's a lot to handle, especially if you've watched him for years.
Out of curiosity, his performance, is it worthy of?
It's amazing. Oh yeah, it's great. He did a phenomenal job. There's no problem with it whatsoever. It's just disturbing.
He does a good job with the disturbing part of it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think everybody in the TV show does an amazing job. I think it does have a few interesting things to say about the time, and I don't really know if all the changes they made were great.
Gotcha.
Mixed bag, but that contains spoilers, so I'm not going to spoil the TV show for you. But I binge watched that whole season and the 7 hours that it came out in, so at least you had that going for you.
Yeah.
Watching Defending Jacob, I think episode 4 was the weakest link out of them all. We did really enjoy episode 5, though. So if you're nervous to continue forward,
that's great.
Push yourself. I watched the entirety, and I mean the entirety in one sitting, of the Clone Wars. I took a little nap in between the finale.
I did because I waited so patiently on that Friday for you to wake up.
I did. I took a little nap, but I did watch the whole series, the whole final season. So that right there gets credit.
Mixed
I
bag.
watched the rest of Dummy, which is one of the weirdest TV shows I've ever watched in my life. And I will never forget the episode of where Anna Kendrick has to convince a 14-year-old boy to have sex with a sex doll. And then learning about it being a true story. It's just interesting. Okay, guys, it's just interesting. Fun, though, but I kind of recommend, though, weirdly enough. You'd be scarred, but that's fine.
I'm good.
And then Dead to Me, I saw the first 4 episodes of that, and then I got yelled at for watching it without my sister, so I had to stop. And so now I'm in the middle of a cliffhanger. So I'm freaking out.
Fun thing about Dead to Me, I was on Netflix last night trying to find something to watch to go to bed to. And the first thing that pops up on Netflix now is Dead to Me because it just came out. And I had not watched anything for season 2 because I haven't watched anything really for season 1.
You watched like the first like 2 or 3
I
episodes?
watched the first episode of season 1.
I tried to get everybody to watch it when it first came out.
And so I watched it. It just wasn't for me. It was good. Like both Linda Carlini and Applegate were good. It wasn't for me. The trailer for season 2 though, if that does not get your blood pumping, I don't know what will. That trailer is so the music in it, the choices of cinematography they use. It's a brilliant trailer. I still have no desire to watch the show though.
It's amazing. One of the best TV shows you'll watch. Couldn't recommend more.
Can I ask you a question? Has it kind of replaced your fevering for our show?
So, do you want to know something really interesting about the new season?
I saw her in the trailer. So the cop's
in it. And I was like, oh, is this a good thing? Or does this mean you're going to get canceled?
Or is it connected now?
No. She doesn't play a cop at all in the TV show.
She looks familiar.
Yeah.
She was trying to get her zombie girl.
And, but that was really fun. That was nice and things. I do believe we'll get a season 3 for anybody who is watching it. It trended the whole entire day. Friday came out, and it's the number 1 thing. And it's been the number 1 thing trending on Netflix alone, not on Twitter. And so I do feel like there's tremendous love and things, which is such a good feeling because I thought it was really niche that nobody really did watch it, and it got season 2 because it got all the nominations and stuff at the Emmys. And now I guess we do really have a fan base. And you know what? How happy that makes me inside.
You know how
I did watch the whole first season again for anybody who was curious.
And it'll get a season 3, and then much like our favorite show, it'll get cut.
Yeah, and then I'll cry, and it's fine. So, moving forward, the movies I've watched, since I do keep a list and things, is I've watched quite a few movies. We watched Ratatouille.
Great movie.
Not appropriate for children. It is, but it's also not. We were quite shocked.
I agree. It's still a good movie, though.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. So that's my opinion. Watched Letterface again. Gave that 3 stars. Scarred my dad and made myself happy. Watched Mayhem, which I do recommend. It's on Shudder. 4 stars. Frozen 2. Duh. I recommend that. What's that even a thought? Even a thought process? We watched that for family movie night. Peyton had never seen it. She was not impressed.
Oh, she didn't like it?
No, she did not. Then I watched I Still Believe 2 days ago. 2 or 3 days ago. Very, very much. I Still Believe is an interesting film because it has everything you would think I'd hate in it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into why because I'm not trying to judge people or anything. But also because it was extremely religious because it was. I mean, that's what it is. It's a religious film. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I quite enjoyed myself the whole way through. Was it very telling? Did you know exactly what was going to happen? Were you guessing along the way? Well, yes, I was. I guessed every single moment in the movie. But was it super duper cute? And did I fall in love with the characters? And did I cry? Also, yes. So it got 3.5 stars. And a 3.5 stars and a because it made me cry. And that, my friend, takes effort, at least. Then I watched Garden State. Have you ever seen Garden State, Zachary?
It sounds familiar.
It's 2004. It's old.
Who's in it?
Natalie Portman, Zach Braff.
Describe it.
Yep, can't do that for you. Sorry. It's one of those movies you either know or you don't know.
I've heard of it.
Here, let me pull it up for you. If you've never heard of this before, it is currently on Stars. Not that I think a lot of people have Stars, but it is on there, so like you can watch it and things for like for other people where they can find it. It's one of those movies that I could never explain to you what it is, but you should watch it.
Okay.
What it looks like. This is what it is. It's old.
A quietly troubled young man returns home for his mother's funeral after being estranged from his family for a decade. No, I know I've heard of the title before. Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing.
Was it funny?
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. It's on Stars.
Yeah, it's on Stars. There really is no plot to it, so don't go in thinking that you're gonna get something masterful out of that hand. It's mostly about questions and stuff that you're too afraid to ask. Gotcha. And things like that. Very very indie, but in the best way possible.
I forgot something. I did watch a movie though within this time. I watched one movie for a second time. No, third time. Knives Out.
Oh, good. Thank you. Someone's watching.
Jacob, I love that movie.
That's also another one we should probably do a commentary towards. I think that would be.
And now I know the mystery. It's fun to watch Daniel Craig's character go around and go, interesting. And I follow that old lady now the entire film. I'm like, she knows shit. She knows shit.
I think that'd be a really fun one to react to.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a lot of fun.
So we'll put that on the list as well.
Heck yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. I love that movie.
Well, guys, we've been sitting here for 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just that opinion. If you guys enjoyed, that's good. I hope you did. Go ahead, subscribe to fun YouTube things, and I really just don't feel like doing an outro. So,
and as always, make sure to like, rate, subscribe over on the Twitters and on the Spotify's. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what you're doing through your quarantine days, like what's your quarantine watch-alongs, what you're doing, and like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. That way you see everything going on. And make sure to come back later down the line for our commentaries, such as Sonic the Hedgehog and possibly Knives Out.
And also for the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that
for the podcast.
Cue the kind of sword dancing.